Jeremy Weiss here. We're here live at RetailX. I'm here with Christen. And Christen, tell us about your company and what you do.
Sure. So I'm with Field Paoli Architects in San Francisco. We are a 30-person firm. We do a wide range of retail and mixed-use projects, from large-scale urban centers to urban and suburban centers, down to interiors and fixture design even. So it kind of varies depending on who we're working with, but we have folks that are really good at all different scales.
Walk me through a few of the most interesting projects.
Oh, wow.
What's an interesting project that sticks out to you?
Yeah, so I am working a lot with Vino Volo. They are wine bars in airports across the US and Canada. And we are working on a project right now for the new terminal in New Orleans at MSY.
They have one in O'Hare, I think. I've seen it there.
Yeah. I haven't worked on that one, but
well, they look cool. So.
Yeah, they're really fun, and so it's going to be their largest location that they've had before. It's a new terminal, so it's really exciting to be part of that.
Building it out.
Yeah, and it has a large market concept that's part of it as well. So it's market and wine bar and wine retail. What's
some of the prep that goes into that? Because as a consumer walking up, it's all there, it's done, but there's a lot of stuff that goes into it.
There's a lot of, from a design standpoint, there's a lot of research on what materials we could use to distinguish ourselves from the other tenants in the airport, as well as what we can do to be local, to be referencing the local environment that we're in. So what kinds of woods, what kinds of stone, what kind of materials, and then also with the market and the food offerings, kind of working with local partners to provide products that are familiar to New Orleans, and for people to feel like they're going to take a little bit home with them.
All right, cool. Yeah. And so what's another interesting, exciting project? So the airports?
Yeah. Well, I'm actually working on a project for a non-retailer, but they do inclusion sports projects. And
so what is that?
So they pair able-bodied kids with disabilities of all different levels of mental and physical disabilities. And I was talking with them about their social mission and how to integrate that into their design. And I just was on a panel this morning about that same topic. And one of the things that they just got a space, and it has a bunch of stairs. And so I was suggesting that we design the new space without any stairs at all, so that there's no difference between how you are approaching a space. And so I think that could be really an interesting way to look at design and how you can integrate what their intention is and the physical space.
What are some of the interesting questions you got on the panel?
Yeah, they had a lot of questions around how do you get that messaging out? Because you don't want to, plaster the walls with words, right? Some, yes, but it's a matter of the very small points, right, where you have a little information at each place where you're interacting with something with social mission. So talking with Whole Foods, I do a lot of work with Whole Foods, and so where the farmer's from, what the farmer's story is, you see a lot of that in the produce department. Those kinds of ways to where people are touching the product and really feeling it. Even things down to the packaging of the product. If someone's got a social mission around sustainability and ocean, like the problems with the plastics in the ocean, if they package their product in plastic, they're not really walking the walk, right?
Yeah.
They're talking about it, but they're not doing something about it.
What else do you do for Whole Foods?
So we do store design for the Northern California region. We've done a lot of tap rooms and those shop in shops with them as well. So one of the projects we did, actually, it's a couple years old now, but we did a brewery for them. They're first on the West Coast, so it's an on-site brewery, and with a rooftop bar.
You have some fun jobs.
It's really fun.
They let you go and try everything out?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
And they have award-winning beer, so it's even,
What's some of the innovations you're seeing? What should we look at in the future? Because you do so many projects, you probably have your finger on the pulse of these things.
Yeah, I would say the integration of digital and physical. People are still, the data shows that people are still buying in physical store locations. So even though there's been a lot of talk about, everything's going online, there's plenty online. But in order for those physical experiences to be something that gets people coming back, it needs to be a little special. It has to have an experience, and you have to have an intention. More buying with intention, really. It's like having a story. There's a lot of retailers doing that really well right now.
So where can people find your business online? Where should they go?
So we are fieldpaoli.com. Yep, and we are, like I said, we're in San Francisco, but we work nationwide and in Canada. So,
all right, check them out.
Yeah.
Thank you. Live from RetailX.